what's up? Definitely not. Is it 30th of July? 31st of July. 31st of July.
Change it.
It's fine. 31st of July. Myself, Marty Mush, Ev, Smitty, and Clemmer. Smitty via the internet.
If they completely cut off 31s and no one told you about that and the calendar adjusted to it, would you realize?
No.
I would have
Most of the time.
There's always that song, though, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest of 31, except February. That's how I remember, because otherwise I forget the 31.
Every time you're writing out dates, I
Yes.
sing that song.
You have to do your knuckles.
Yeah, I do the knuckles.
Oh, really? I do the
What are the
song.
knuckles?
Yeah.
Because it goes,
January,
and often then you do the middle, it's like July, August, both have 31, the two middle
Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool.
knuckle, non-knuckle, like in between
Oh.
the knuckles.
What if
I never heard
if you
about
lose
that.
Because
your
like
fingers?
January, February, March, April, like it just all one off.
It works
And then the
out,
two together, if you put the two in between.
It's back-to-back 31s.
So you it starts on the end knuckle, January 31, February non-31, March 31, April non-31, May 31, June 30, and then July, August are together. Knuckles both touch, 31, 31, off, on.
January, February, March, April. I only get to April in the middle.
What do you mean you have May?
Knuckles, you
But
dumb
it's
fuck.
between your knuckles.
Oh.
It's your knuckle and then between the knuckle.
So, okay. January, February, March, April, May.
Start on the end knuckle.
Holy shit, I should
is
never
crazy,
ask
bro.
this question.
Start on the end knuckle here,
On your left hand.
All right.
left hand.
All right.
It looks like Smitty. Oh, I like that
I
thing.
don't know
It looks like
about
Smitty.
Crazy.
That's crazy. I just sing the
30
song.
days has September, April, June,
June
and
and
November.
November.
Smitty's son has already learned that. He's like,
All the rest have 31.
Except for February.
Just sing the song.
I know, just think the song. It's a great song.
It's either 31 or just non-31.
Sing the song. All right, winners and losers of the trade deadline. What jumps out to people before we go through the list? The Score had some lists. We can read them off.
I mean, the Angels are a huge loser. I should have talked more about them yesterday. The Angels, completely shit the bed. They have Taylor Ward. You have Tyler Anderson. They need to blow everything up. And once again, for the second straight year, they just do nothing.
I agree with you, but I don't think that those guys were I know because sometimes some people are getting a haul for people that aren't that good.
Oh, Tyler Anderson's better than Kikuchi.
Yeah. Kikuchi stinks.
Yeah, look at what they got. You had a pitcher that under control for another year. That Angels farm system too. Remember, is so bad.
I just don't get I just expect them to be shitty. They don't know what they're doing.
Clearly,
They traded Estevez.
they did. They did, and they got a decent return for him. But the idea that they just pumped the brakes after that is insane. Then also,
You got to load up on prospects.
either do it or don't. You trade Estevez, then why hold on to Anderson? And why hold on to Renifo? I always mispronounce the name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But what you said about, what Marty just said about pitching prospects, or not pitching prospects, pitchers being traded who aren't at the elite level. It's really, really, really. Have you ever seen anything like this before, where mid-value pitchers are getting this return?
No.
At the trade deadline.
Especially not in a year when pitching is up and hitting is down. That's the thing, is hitting is down in baseball. Hitting should have more value than pitching right now, and it's gone completely upside down.
Yeah, the Padres Marlins
bad.
trade was crazy.
Yeah.
They got that much for that guy.
Well, they got two guys, though. They got Honig. I almost think Honig almost is more value than Tanner Scott in a way, because you only have Tanner Scott for 2 months. You have Honig for 3 more years. He's a pretty decent reliever. Tanner Scott's a better pitcher, but
If you were an amazing team with scouting, let's just say the Dodgers, and you're in first place right now, and you had a very good pitcher. Okay, well, I'll throw it out there. The Phillies,
Right.
Christopher Sanchez, he was a fifth starter who he's their number 4 now. They need him now. But would you ever entertain in this trade deadline, the way players are going, trading somebody like Christopher Sanchez if you're on a first place team for just stockpiling prospects?
it's not the worst strategy.
That's
but then if you lose, then you're well, if we only had Sanchez, then you look like an asshole. That's the problem.
I wouldn't do it, but if you want some next level GM thinking, holy shit.
Imagine the Giants right now. Talk about a loser. You had Blake Snell.
They're horrible.
And what are you doing? You gave away Jorge Soler as a salary dump, I guess, even though he's not a terrible hitter. And then you just keep Snell for what? Why?
Yeah.
It was another.
He's
year.
gone at the end of the year.
Well, I was going to say,
They
I
had to
remember I
trade
said
him.
it to you yesterday, Clemmer, kind of in the bullpen, that there wasn't any big moves last year. Another year where
Right.
at the deadline there was nothing
There was a lot of trades.
A lot of trades, but they were all
Lot of trades.
small.
there was nothing crazy
No.
and nothing even Tanner Scott was probably the most
Yeah.
Or the yesterday, I mean.
Yeah,
Flaherty too.
Flaherty and Tanner Scott were the biggest names dealt.
that's
Those
right.
aren't big names.
Crochet didn't go. Scooble didn't go.
Nope.
Yeah.
Shout out Bob Nightingale though, got it right.
He did. He did.
Why
You can
would-
tell he must have heard that already, and because that's
Tweeted something like it was like Jack Flaherty of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and like it was like hours before he got traded.
Right.
And everyone was clowning him, being like, "Nope, he's not on the Dodgers."
Yep.
And then he was on the Dodgers.
the Dodgers are winner.
Dodgers definitely a winner.
Now that rotation,
Dodgers were in here as a winner. Flaherty without a major prospect is what they wrote.
yeah.
You know,
And-
Dodgers just always do something right.
Yeah, and they also got Kevin Kiermaier, who's like a nice guy to have on the bench as a defensive replacement. And yeah, and I don't know, man. You look at the Dodgers rotation, it's like that's gonna be tough to beat. The Phillies rotation too. As a Mets fan, I'm looking at those rotations. I'm like, we just don't stack up with those guys.
No.
We just don't. I mean, you hope, and I've been fighting with Guardians fans all day, all night, all day today. They defend this ownership because they think they're a good team. It's like, no, you have a nice record because you're feasting on the AL Central. But if you go to the playoffs with Ben Lively, you think you're going to, and Alex Cobb, you think you're going to beat teams like the Yankees, like the Orioles?
Less
What are you doing?
about the Guardians, seriously.
That ownership is so cheap, and they defend this horrible ownership. The Guardians could be great. The Guardians have an amazing bullpen. They have a great organization, and the owner is one of the cheapest pieces of shit in sports because they're so close, and yet he won't pull the trigger. And he's taking that revenue money. They get all that revenue money. He just puts it in his back pocket. And the fans are like, no, they're doing great. They have the best record in baseball.
Let me ask you a question.
Get outta
As
here.
an owner, right? You got a great. If you look at the Guardians / Indians, they're always a pretty good team.
They have great GM.
Yeah.
They have a great manager. Again, Stephen Vogel's doing a great job.
Their fans love them. They sell out mostly.
The defense is okay.
And he's probably making a ton of money for not doing much.
He's making a ton of money.
Why the fuck would I even? Why the fuck am I gonna?
And he has these fans brainwashed.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like,
crazy.
He almost is like smart in a way where he's making tons of money without having to pay his players, and they're like in first, and like it's kind of a great.
He's like Scrooge McDuck, probably swims in that pool laughing at these Cleveland fans. And these fans are like, no, they're doing great. They have the best record in base. Are you fucking kidding me right now? You're the Cleveland Guardians. You could have had Blake Snell. You got Alex Cobb, who hasn't pitched all year, who has a bad hip. And you're like, oh, and you get him for 2 months, and you think that's a good move? What the fuck are you doing?
Did you see that the Yankees supposedly said that they didn't end up going with Flaherty because of his lower back injury, and they had to get which I didn't hate, because they probably didn't want to give up too many of their prospects for him if they're they needed. He said he needed some injection 2 or 3 times to kind of get going. But the way that the most that the Dodgers gave up was not a lot. So
No.
that's where I was like, why wouldn't you try it for?
Or what's your backup plan? All right, you don't get Flaherty, fine. You're saying by wanting Flaherty, you have a starting pitching hole, right?
Yeah.
What's the backup plan? And there wasn't one. If I'm a Yankees fan, I'm not too thrilled with yesterday.
I'm not thrilled, but I'm not mad. I think I'm most we could because we do have a lot of guys coming back, pitching wise, but it's all hoping they stay healthy. Clark Schmidt is coming back, is throwing today. F. Ross is coming back in the bullpen. Mark Leiter actually, I think
He was balls last night. That was a hell of a performance by him last
Crazy to
night.
just come in day of, unreal.
Day of, and
I needed him.
throwing the 10th inning in a
I
pressure
didn't know he
game.
was on the team yet.
I didn't think he was. I didn't think he could.
Right, yeah, was he on the rock? He got traded 3-4 hours before the game started.
Yes,
that's
why
crazy.
I was like, what the fuck? But I guess they were in Cincy and they were in Philly, so it's not that.
Good on him that wants to be there that bad.
No, he's a great pitcher. I think he has.
I think he had 48 hours to report, so he didn't need to be there.
No, he hasn't let up a run in 8 appearances. His last 8 appearances, he's great. And Jazz has been good for the Yankees so far.
Unreal.
He's been great for
3
you.
homers in 4 games, right?
Yeah,
I know.
4
He
homers in
almost
3
looks
games.
as good as
1-3.
Harrison Bader looked with the Yankees when he first started.
You keep talking loser to fucking Yankees when you lost when Nola and Wheeler pitched, and we had a guy we signed from the minors yesterday and beat you guys. So
I'm just stating.
No,
an
you
observation.
stated for no
Harrison
reason
Bader
there.
also had
You
an
stated for
electric
no
start for the
reason there.
Yankees.
you would do it as a shot.
How do you feel about that
That wasn't a
8-game
shot.
lead?
That was a
Harrison
shot.
Bader's a fine baseball player.
That was a shot.
I think, Smitty's point, I think Bader's pretty comparable to Jazz Chisholm. The only thing Jazz Chisholm can do, Jazz can play the infield.
I mean, also
Hitting-wise, they're not that dissimilar.
I mean, if Jazz does this year what Bader did in the playoffs last year, I mean, that's a home run.
It is.
Yeah. He was unbelievable last year.
The Yankees are having fun.
I'm happy
now.
for you guys.
We're rooting for the Yankees. Keep cutting that lead down. It's only 8 games.
Skip it away.
It's only 8
In
games.
about 20 minutes.
It's only 8 games, and I think we play them like 7 more times.
But
of
the
the way.
Yankees,
I was slightly underwhelmed.
I was underwhelmed. But who besides Flaherty, who would you want him to get? That's the thing. Where
I thought they should have. I'd be
Yankees is
curious
such a weird team. I wish you guys got more bats. I would have loved to have seen you guys get Brent Rooker.
he can go anywhere. That's why
I know, but like you got to bowl the team over with an offer.
That puts the A's on the loser list. They held on to Miller, who was hurt. They couldn't trade him. Rooker and
You could trade him.
and
You
Bleday.
can, but
How do you say that name? Bleday?
JJ Bleday, yeah.
Yeah. So they
I just think that.
but the A's are so far out of contention. It's like you got to trade these
I think
guys.
Rooker not getting traded
Lawrence
was
Butler's
them
sliding
asking
right
for a
now. He
ton.
ain't going anywhere.
No, I guess the good news for the A's, though, is that all those guys are still controlled for next year, so you could trade them in the offseason. This is why the Giants are so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, Snell's gone.
Right.
No matter what, he's gone.
Yeah.
And
These guys like controlled for the next 4 years.
Miller's controlled for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
Yeah, but you could get a haul for him. He's a good point.
right.
You're better off in the offseason where it's not a panic and you can craft that trade and get way more.
and just let his finger just not be broken.
Of course, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because I bet his trade value would be basically the same in the offseason as
course.
it was now.
As long as he doesn't get hurt, blow his elbow out. It's
Exactly.
pinky on his non-throwing hand, so he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But the Snell thing just really kind of put a bug up my ass because I was like, what are you doing? He's gone. He's gone in 60 days. You're not making the playoffs. And if you are making the playoffs, why would you trade Soler the day before?
I
don't understand.
I'm just curious what the Yankees, what they offered or if they offered for Snell. Like, what were these offers that the Giants were turning down?
I don't know.
This teams had to be talking to them at minimum. I didn't, like you said, do you trade Soler and then don't trade him? It just doesn't really make
You're
sense.
5 back. You need to climb over 4 teams, to get there. As a Mets fan, I'll say I was pretty underwhelmed. We went and got Paul Blackburn. That's not what we need. So right now we're going to go to the
Blackburn
playoffs.
stinks.
We're going to the playoffs with Minaya, Severino, and and Quintana. That's our big 3. Like you can't win with that.
What about Severino?
Hey, Minaya
Yeah,
looked
kind
pretty
of.
damn good last night.
No, he's
Looked good last night.
he's fine, but
Good.
Phil,
not a
Smitty, if we're playing you in the playoffs and you have your big 3 against our big 3, are you intimidated at all? No.
The Dodgers or the Braves, like
Right.
Right.
there's a lot of.
So I was like, but maybe this isn't our year. Like, I guess it makes sense, on some level, like, hold on to your prospects. We didn't trade any of our top 15 prospects.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the Mets did exactly what they should have done.
Maybe.
Added pieces, small pieces.
They've been he's been pretty vocal. He's kind of like Jed Hoyer. Like they've been vocal about 2025,
Yes.
and I think they're outperforming what they should be doing. Why give a haul up for these guys when you're not going to win the World Series? You're not. It's just your team isn't there
If
yet.
we had Blake Snell, would you consider us a World Series contender? I think I might with that offense.
I don't think I would.
Oh.
No.
No.
It's tough too because
I think, like,
we
just-
probably wouldn't catch these guys in the division, right?
no.
So then we're going as a wild card. So maybe it's not worth putting.
Like the Phillies and Dodgers right now are just stuck
All right.
that much.
The thing I
better.
didn't
think
get-
next year is
Scooble's
where-
under control for how many years?
2 more after this.
It's like that's a guy you can like mortgage in though because that gives you an ace.
I don't think the Tigers really wanted to give him.
I don't think so either. As it turns
Honestly, the
out,
haul on
yeah.
that him would. He's the favorite to win that Cy Young, I think, right now. And
Yeah,
I think the Tigers also think in that AL Central they can compete because they're right looking at the Guardians like, all right.
Okay with the Tigers not giving him up. It's a guy who
Right.
you should probably.
I don't hate that as like I said and I don't hate the White Sox entirely for not giving up Crochet because he pissed everyone off with this threat and everything. You might as well trade him in the offseason. Because then all this bad stink isn't around him as much maybe.
I could see Crochet just like not being that good and like after this, and then no one wants him, and then he got nothing.
Yeah. Well, the White Sox were listed on the losers as well because they didn't move Crochet. The name I wanted for the Mets, and I'm surprised he didn't get moved, was Luis Robert. I still think there's a little bit there.
Yeah, weird that they end up moving Jimenez.
He's got a little bit of pop. He's
Where
an
would we
awful
play him, though?
lineup. What?
Where would we play him?
I don't know. Could you put him in the outfield?
I just don't know like who you're taking out. You got Nimmo out there.
You got Bader
unless
batting
you don't
ninth. You would like.
I just like
see them
Bader's
platooning.
defense. I like, and then if you get, Jesse Winker, I guess you could. Who do you like better, Winker or Robert? I guess.
Who do you like better, Bader or Robert? I like Robert.
I think I might like Bader with the
Potentially.
defense. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Right, but to your point, it never hurts to have another like outfield bat either.
No.
But for the White Sox, who are on pace to actually be the worst team in Major League Baseball history for a single season, for them to not say, okay, fuck you, Crochet, I'm trading you anyway, and Luis Robert to just keep them for what?
Right.
For what? Like, the Phillies could have used Luis Robert. That's for sure.
He's
Mariners
a big
too,
bat.
right? You got the Mariners could have used some of these guys, some of these bats. They did. The Mariners could have used them. You wonder about like Paul DeJong. They traded him away. They did make some small moves yesterday, but you're right. You guys are right. I mean, there's no reason for the White Sox to have anybody.
White Sox almost like you wonder if they knew the fucking deadline was yesterday. Like if they're like, why isn't the phone ringing?
Them and the Angels are confused.
I felt like that was kind of. I mean, Clemmer said about the Angels. Talking about the A's. I mean, that to me was kind of the story of the deadline. Was all these like bottom feeders just not trading anyone or minimal at most. White Sox, A's,
Blue Jays.
No, Blue Jays were listed as a winner. They got 13 prospects.
With the Kikuchi deal?
They just hit a lick on Kikuchi.
They made a total. They got 13 prospects in their deals.
I'm mad at the Blue Jays for not moving Vladdy, Bassett,
Well,
Osman, Barris, but I guess you can move them in the offseason.
So then let's do this way. Let's put yourself in the Blue Jays fan shoes. They said they can contend in 2025, whether you believe that or not. They didn't give up all the big pieces for 2025, and they got 13 prospects. The Blue Jays are a winner.
What the Blue Jays also
Now, what are they going to win, and can they contend? That's a whole other conversation. But you're a Blue Jays fan. You come out of this looking like roses.
I don't know,
man. I now you have only the problem is now
the same team that's not doing anything.
And now you're going to get less for Vladdy.
You have to eliminate that. That's a different conversation.
No, that's part.
No, that is the like it's not realistic.
2025, right? So 2025 is running back the same exact thing that has been failing. When they could have traded one of those pieces, you could have kept one of those guys maybe.
They said they're going to contend in 2025. If you believe that or not,
They haven't won a playoff game in 10 years.
That's a totally different conversation.
No, not a single game.
They're trying to compete for 2025. Take it on the level of the surface. They're trying to compete for 2025 and got 13 prospects.
So
seems like a win.
Rico, as a
I have nothing. I have nothing for against the Blue Jays. I'm just saying that does come out pretty nice.
But you followed the Blue Jays pretty darn close with the score. What, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
You still give them the benefit of the doubt after another 2 years of this?
No.
Okay, well, that's the Blue Jays fan base.
That's what we're saying. It's not a different conversation because it's like if you might as well, if it's not working, and this is also was a seller's market. If they could have got an even bigger haul for a bat and Vladdy that people would fucking
Chris Bassett, people would have given up a lot for Chris Bassett.
Yeah. Like, I think that's where the conversation is. Like, you could have kept Bo, maybe, or if you wanted to keep Vladdy, give one of them up.
Bo's hurt, so maybe you keep him.
Keep him and then give up Vladdy for, like, people would have died for him. And I think they would have got fucking 20 prospects at that point.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think that's where the conversation is of a Blue Jays fans. Like, you say 2025, you really think it's, what are we going to do now?
And you look at teams like the Orioles, the Yankees, even the Red Sox, some of their young players are starting to pick up, like, are you going to really compete with these guys? Probably not.
I think the Blue Jays are crazy. It's at least 2 teams better than them in that division moving forward.
Definitely.
At least 2, possibly 3.
Yeah.
Rays also,
And the Rays are never down as long as the Rays are on the winners as well.
Rays are great.
They sold, but they got prospects.
Yeah, I mean, and the Rays even like
Rays are never down.
No,
the
just
Rays
brought back
could be a
Jeffrey
last
Spring
place
yesterday.
Rays could be a last place team and they'll win 82 games.
Fucking Morel home run yesterday, too. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and they had a guy that's been hurt for a year. That just came off the IL yesterday for them. A really good pitcher, Jeffrey Springs. Like the Rays just keep having that like assembly line.
The Cubs kind of did a weird thing too, where they sold Leiter, which they got 2 prospects that are actually like one's definitely good from the Yankees, the number 22 and 29 from the Yankees, but then they got Paredes, which was weird, he's batting .95 since July 5th.
Sick.
Not great. And but they didn't sell Tyone. They didn't sell Bellinger, who's like can opt out next year because Bellinger's back now. I don't know. I thought they had a little weird one as well.
7 back in the wild card right now too.
Yeah, they're done. And then I think, but they keep saying the same thing as like they're waiting. They like 2025. They did something, which I guess I'm fine with. Like if you look at their lineup, you're like, oh, they shouldn't be that bad. But I don't know what's happening.
Well, Paredes was more long-term, too. He said like 3 years of control.
But yeah, I mean, it's a smaller thing, but Leiter has 2 years of control beyond this. Like, I don't know why you traded him then. If you're trying to play for 25, I don't know. I don't get what the Cubs are doing either, Marty. I was very confused.
Their bullpen's no good.
No.
And they traded their best bullpen guy, so I didn't understand it.
How do we feel about the Orioles overall? Their trade deadline.
They made some decent and weird moves. I like Eflin a lot.
Would you put them in the same boat as what the Yankees did?
Yeah.
They were listed as like a mild winner.
Yeah.
Orioles.
Like a bat and an arm.
Yep.
One bat, one arm. Neither like gonna knock your socks
You
off.
think better, Smitty?
They at least attempted to add a bunch of bullpen pieces. I mean, they got Gregory Soto last night too, who's a hard-throwing lefty. So I mean, between Craig Kimbrel and Seranthony Dominguez and Gregory Soto, it's going to be who wants to give up a 4-run lead in the ALDS first. That's exactly what's going to happen.
They made a trade I hated yesterday. The Trevor Rogers trade. They went and got Trevor Rogers from the Marlins. Trevor Rogers is a 4.98 ERA his last 48 starts. It's just not a good pitcher. He's a lefty. They traded away Connor Norby, who's a prospect I really like. He's a second baseman who I think could play in the majors like right now. He's the Orioles' 7th best prospect. You know how stacked that organization is. So, like, you give up a guy like that for a guy that I don't think is a particularly great starter. I was a little bit underwhelmed by that, but I do like F1 a lot, so it's like, all right.
I feel like Rogers is very like the talk on him in the Twitter very like contentious. Like I feel like it's very like some people really like him.
Yeah.
Some people like you really are like what am I missing here kind of
Split
thing.
opinion.
Yeah, he's a lefty. He's 26. Those are positives, but he just hasn't had like consistent major league success. He's been around a while.
He's been good the last like month and a half. 2
Yeah.
months. I don't know how much you want to hang your hat on that.
It's something. I mean, it's not. At the end of the day, though, we do talk in the show a lot about how the Orioles don't have any starting pitching depth, and they did go out and get 2 arms. So now it's like, all right, they have enough arms to last in the season now. If I'm a Yankees fan, I definitely look at the Orioles like, all right, I think the Orioles are probably better than the Yankees, unless Gerrit Cole becomes Gerrit Cole from last year. Then maybe it's a different story.
What did he get pulled for? General body ache?
Sick. Stomach virus.
I mean, he also even said it. He's like, I've pitched 5 times, and he's gone to max twice or 3 times of pitches. Like, Gerrit Cole is going to take it's still going to take a little bit. Like, Blake Snell, look at Blake Snell when he took off. Now he's back to Blake Snell.
Right.
You know, he's
Can we talk about Gerrit Cole having full body fatigue?
He was sick.
He had stomach virus.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's what it was originally. That's what I was laughing at. It was originally.
I think they didn't want to say his diarrhea.
Body
I
fatigue.
mean, he's just shitting his brains out. I think that's what they didn't
Body
want to say.
fatigue is just, he was sick.
Yeah.
He's done on the
That's
IL
fair.
or anything, right? No. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it just.
These last 2 teams are kind of like put together. One's a winner, one's a loser. Marlins were a winner. They got the 1 and 2 prospects traded at the deadline, according to Baseball America. They fleeced the Padres, who were a big-time loser, and they got 7 of the 16 rated prospects at the deadline.
I think some GMs just want to trade. Like, they're like, just give me I need just so it looks like I'm doing something, because that was a horrible trade.
Prospects
Marlins, big winners.
I'm sorry. Padres gave up 7 prospects, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 12 in their system for 2 relief pitchers.
And remember, they gave up prospects.
You better be right
Dylan
about
Cease.
relief pitchers.
What?
They gave up a prospect, their number 1 prospect, to go get Dylan Cease through Thorpe, who they got when they traded Soto. So the Padres, this weird thing. Remember, they had a kind of a mini fire sale in the offseason. Now they're buying guys back. You got to no half measures. You got to pick a direction.
Yeah, it really always works out for the Padres. And good for the Marlins for attracting more prospects that they can develop into great talent that they can trade away.
Right, yeah, exactly.
More prospects.
It's just never ending with the
It
prospects.
never ends. It's disgusting.
But
If they had any
yeah.
fans, they should be disgusted.
They should be.
They're like a
So,
company.
they just
They're
don't
like a
have
company
fans.
that's making money. It's like they're like, what do you guys do? And it's like, well, once we have a lot of things in the hopper, and they start making the money, and they just fucking trade away all those assets.
Yeah. They just don't have fans. They don't.
No, it's not
nobody
that.
cares.
It's
Nobody
such
cares.
bull. Don't blame the fans. Blame the ownership. They're getting revenue money. These small market teams get money from other teams like the Yankees and Mets. Pay them money that they just put right back in their pocket instead of investing in the team.
Yeah.
It's the Marlins ownership. It's the Guardians ownership. They are the problem. It's not the fans.
Because but Miami's like really.
That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know if it was in Miami.
I'm not gonna shit. Like, I love going to baseball games. You guys know, like, I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. I'm not gonna really blame someone for not bringing their family to a Marlins game if the team doesn't put on a product that's competitive. I'm not like a family of 4 to go to a game is expensive for a lot of people. I'm not gonna shit on them if their ownership's hoarding this money. Fuck the owners.
Also, it's like they obviously
I hate the owners so much.
I know.
Because I read the Forbes stuff of like how much money they're actually like putting in the back pocket. It makes me sick. It's disgusting. It's horrible. It's so, and like if you're not only that, but remember too, when you're an owner, you make the money when you sell the team. You buy the team, and then the teams always have major value appreciation. So you're getting your money at the end. You don't need to get your money in the middle too. You don't get everything, but they do. And a lot of these fans are, all right, they're content.
But they operate they obviously operate with one, but it's not even really a small market. Like, would you consider Miami a small? Like
I know.
Like it's Miami. Like I understand trust me, they operate like one that they fill the stadium like one that's not a major market, but it's Miami. Like we're not talking about like some podunk.
You don't think of the Heat and Dolphins as small market teams?
Sure not.
Obviously not. And the Panthers just won a Stanley Cup.
I mean, just statistically, what is Miami? Bottom of the top 10 in like America of like cities and markets. I'm saying if you rank like New York, LA, Chicago.
The problem is
Miami's got to be in that like.
It goes to territory. It's just how Florida is like. Look at the geography of Florida. Like Miami, there's nothing south of it. So if you have TV money, right, it's hard for the TV bandwidth to go very far. And not only that, now you have the Rays in there, and they kind of cut off the middle.
And then Atlanta kind of has like.
And then Atlanta has the rest, right?
Else.
So the actual like TV map, if you look at it for the Marlins, is very small. Now you can blame Major League Baseball for putting the Rays in there, fucking that all up. That's fine.
It's basically they just have South Florida.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Which, compared to, like you said, the Braves, or look at the Rockies. The Rockies have, like, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho. They have a whole bunch of shit. Another loser, the Rockies. They didn't do shit. That team's dog shit. They just sit on their hands like they do every offseason. They don't do a fucking thing.
They're the one. Marlins games in Havana?
maybe they do on, like, some sort of, like, old radio,
Rabbit ears going.
Right.
Checking it out.
The Rockies are the team that the GM woke up and he's like, hold on, the deadline passed?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit. Thought it was tomorrow.
Who was it? Trevor Story that they didn't trade?
Yeah, they didn't.
Trevor Story.
Trevor Story, and then he was a free agent, went to the Red Sox. But they could have gotten a lot for him. But you go through the list. I mean, it's not just him. I mean, go through the list of Rockies players that they could have traded. And Ryan McMahon, I know he's a team-friendly deal. You trade him, you would have gotten a fucking haul for him. But they just hold on to these guys. I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing. It's sad because that park is amazing, and Colorado is the greatest.
Anything else from the deadline?
No.
All right, I got an exercise. Now we're post-deadline. Starting August, tomorrow. Summer's over. Sucks.
No, that's not true. I don't like that attitude.
Summer's over in September.
Who can still win the World Series? Orioles. I think we'd say yes.
Yeah.
Yankees.
Yes.
Red Sox.
No.
Okay. Guardians.
No.
Nah.
They can win it, but we'll be bullish.
I don't think they can, but
need a lot of things to go their way, but I think they can.
I don't think they can.
So here's the path. They get a bye in the first round, so they don't have to play that wild card round, right? And then Ben Lively is like what are we doing? Alex Cobb,
Ben Lively, but that bullpen
is incredible.
With that lineup that can be scrappy.
Yeah, but you need that.
If they get momentum going into the playoffs, do I think they will? No. Do they have a chance?
Would you consider a 5% chance Ken win the World Series, Rico? 5-10% chance?
I think if they get the bye, that's the big difference. If you already put them in the final four,
no, it'll be final 8.
No, because
the bye is only final 8.
You got to get to. I'm saying get to the World Series. Then from there, I'm not worried about the other side because you're not playing the national.
Final 4 in the AL.
Final 4 in the AL.
Oh.
Final 4 in the AL.
I don't think so because look at this, right? The Diamondbacks last year, right? Everyone says, "Oh, look at the Diamondbacks. Did they have a chance?" You would probably say no, but look at their pitching.
They had Gallen and Melvin Kelly.
Starting pitching could match up against anybody.
Right.
And the fat was unbelievable in the playoffs as well.
You wouldn't have known that in August, though.
And the Guardians do that.
Just the two are pound for pound 2 of the best pitchers in the league. The Guardians, they have a great bullpen, but they got to get 4 innings.
They also don't hit that well.
So I just don't think that they can. Against the Orioles, the Yankees, I don't think they have a chance.
You want to be bullish and cross them off. Smitty says yes. I'm leaning that
I'm not ready to cross them off.
It can be pesky. I'll put it that way.
Of course they can.
They have the second best record in the league right now.
Right. They're feasting on a bad division.
Yes.
To say that they can't win, they have a 0% chance. I disagree.
I'm with Smitty.
It's not 0, but like Clemmer just said, if I give a team a 10% chance to win, I don't think that's the really winning.
Would you have given the Diamondbacks a 10% chance to make the World Series last year at this time?
No, for sure not.
No.
Okay.
But again, like I just said,
they didn't win though either.
They also
should have.
I said to make.
I know, but I'm saying, but the exercise is to win the World Series. I know. I'm kind of being somewhat Smith.
Yeah.
I know it's Smitty, but the issues are though the holes we're talking about is why they lost.
What if we change it to make the World Series?
Make the World Series.
Make the World Series.
Make the World Series.
If they make it through the AL, then they can absolutely win the World Series.
I just don't think if they face the
That's
Orioles,
fair. I'm just you know what I'm saying. They're like
could beat them.
If we change it to make the World Series, can the Guardians make the World Series?
Answer my question.
Sure.
Do you think they can really beat the Yankees or the Orioles in the series? They're gonna have to.
No,
play one.
I don't think so.
I do not.
So that's where
I also don't think they can beat the Astros.
That's 3 teams.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like,
All right, so
And I think they're weaker than the Mariners as
I was
well.
going to say the Mariners too.
Yeah.
Castillo and fucking Gilbert.
Yeah.
Minnesota. That's a hard no. I still think they can.
I weirdly almost like them more than the Guardians.
I do too. Me too.
It's still there's.
Royce Lewis is back, by the way.
I admittedly have like a Twins Yankees fan block of like we just embarrass them in such insane fashion that I can't respect them. But I actually do. I like them better than the Guardians. I do.
Slight. It's very slight.
All
But
right.
yeah.
Well, that's the outlier. Kansas City.
No. Probably.
Seattle.
Yes. I believe they can.
The 1-2 starting pitching is strong enough that they can make a run.
And even like 3-4, you have Brian Wu in there. Like,
Yeah.
like the whole rotation's really good. They can go in there and remember like what the 05 White Sox did? They just like the starting pitch just shut them down, and that's how they won. That could happen.
the Mariners. I would almost rank on this like 3 or 4 probably in the AL.
I have them 3. Houston.
Houston's
good.
That's why it's tough to like their lineup is
Wait a
so
second.
much better.
Quick point in the Mariners. Guess what the Mariners' record is right now?
50. I don't even know. 57. No, I don't know.
Yeah, the 57 and 52 playing while the Red Sox there were 56 and 50. Yes, theoretically, the Mariners with Gilbert and Kirby and their pitching staff can do it, but they're kind of like the Blue Jays to me. It's like stop talking about it, start being about it.
Right.
A little bit. And they always are just like around 500.
They just got a
The
Rosarena.
Mets have a better record than the fucking
They did.
Mariners?
They just got
I think
Justin
a little bit
Turner.
better now.
Yeah, Justin Turner batting cleanup yesterday was funny. They're gonna get Julio. Yeah, I know. But like, so they did make a couple moves. I like the moves they made. I think they're trying to improve that offense a little bit. I mean, Smitty's not wrong. The offense is a major problem. Like they have some real issues there. But I think they did make some improvements. I think they're a better team than they were a month ago.
crazy thing is, so we said we don't believe in the Guardians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said the Mariners are 28-1 to win the World Series. Good number, honestly.
Kind of don't hate that.
And then the Guardians are plus 11 or 11-1.
Well, the Guardians would have that
Is there a
in theory that bye.
And the record, obviously.
Yeah.
And then it's the obvious 4. Then it's the Guardians, Braves, Astros, Twins, Brewers, Mariners, and then the rest are like Padres, Diamondbacks, Royals,
Right.
Red Sox, Mets, Cardinals.
Houston, yes or no?
Yes,
Yeah, gotta say yeah.
they got Framber. They got
Texas?
the lineup.
No.
No.
I would say no as well.
They are 90.
Okay, let me devil's advocate a little bit. Rangers are getting Jacob deGrom back potentially the end of next month.
You're on him, huh, Smitty?
Hey, it's the Bruce Bochy effect. If they're some way somehow sneak into the playoffs, they cannot be counted out.
They're 4.5 out of the West, 7 out of the wild card.
Plus 9,000.
I said it last week. I loved them at plus
90 to
6,000.
1 to win.
They're 52 and 56.
I don't believe that they can win.
They just got Josh Young back.
You wonder what happens with DeGrom.
Is it?
It wasn't pitched in fucking
I know.
how long now?
I'm just saying.
Scherzer is back, but then he says he has this weird nerve damage. He could shut down any moment. That's the thing with this team. I don't know.
Is that going to go
Trying
down?
sell
Yeah.
90 to 1 with Tayin.
I'll tell you, that's not a bad.
I don't think you could have.
Not a bad little sprinkle, right?
I don't
there.
think you could have Minnesota and Texas on your list. You got to pick one.
Oh, Minnesota.
I would think Texas.
Minnesota.
You're going Texas.
How many games back are the Rangers?
4.5.
4.5 out of the 4.5 out of the division, 7 of the wild card. If the season ends today, Minnesota's in as a wild card. So I got to say Minnesota's a better chance than the Rangers.
Philly. Yes.
Yes, of course.
Atlanta.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
they'll have Max Fried back.
Okay.
Charlie Morton. There's enough there. Schwellenbach looked great
I
against
thought
the
they
Mets.
were going to be like Cleveland, where
really
you would
good.
just put a line in the sand that they can't do it.
Braves have a staff that couldn't go against
The
anybody.
Braves also could fall out of the playoffs. That wouldn't surprise me. They've had so many injuries. But I can't say the Braves can't win a World Series right now.
Right. Mets, they're a team of destiny, but I would say no.
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 I think it's a little hard to overcome.
Unrelated out, the pitching is
Agreed.
better starting pitching.
Their offense would have to hit like ridiculous numbers.
I'm abstaining from that.
Milwaukee.
Imagine if they didn't start 0-20.
They didn't start on.
Wait, I don't know if it would have mattered, man. Like, we're in the wild card right now. Like, we wouldn't have caught you guys anyway.
Jesus, Morel hit another home run.
Did he?
Milwaukee.
This guy's unbelievable.
He's going to lead the AL in home runs next year if Judge gets hurt or something.
I've had to
Watch.
see this fucking guy in my life now for how long?
You do. Yeah, this guy is biting bombs.
Brewers.
That's actually very funny.
I'm down on the Brewers.
I don't understand. He should win Coach of the Year.
Christian Yelich also might be out for the year.
He's
Yeah.
been coach of the year.
Yeah, he's got some major injury issues. He's trying to rehab it, but it doesn't look good.
Something with his spine.
Yeah, I'm really nervous about the Yelich thing. So
He's also having a sneaky, really fucking good year.
he was having MVP type season.
Yeah, like
Got
I
hurt.
didn't really realize how good he was.
They did just get Devin
That
Williams.
like 324.
Yeah.
They got Devin Williams back this week, who's their like elite closer. So that's going to help them obviously. But then they had to put their other closer, Trevor McGill, on the IL.
So you think he should be the coach of the year?
Manager of the year?
I wouldn't hit that Pat Murphy in the NL and then Stephen Vogt in the AL for
How
Cleveland.
not? You lose Craig Counsell that everyone was jerking off.
You lost Corbin Burns.
You lose Corbin Burns. Your team, no one.
Brandon Woodruff's out for the year.
And they have been pretty good. Not pretty good. Dominant.
You got a rookie Jackson Chourio who is getting better every day.
Yeah.
But I do not think the Brewers can win a World Series.
I don't either.
I don't think so either.
Dodgers are a
But-
yes.
Tip at the cap to them.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
They're always in it, I feel like. Dodgers, yes. I put this one in because of the pitching. They're deep in the wild card, but the Pirates? I think they can win a series. I don't think they can win the World Series.
Yeah.
I think if there was a bet right now, will the Pirates win a series? I would take that bet,
They're
yes.
fucking lineups.
Potentially for some
That'd be a
plus
best of
odds.
3 with Skeens, and then you
Yeah.
have like Keller and Jones. That's nasty.
It's like you could
Real
sell me on
nasty.
like kind of
Winning a series.
like the Diamondbacks path last year,
Yep.
but they don't have the same hitting. Diamondbacks
No.
had more.
That's a better similarity than the Twins. Is the Pirates are very similar to the
Like they have a
Are
big
they out?
three that could go toe to toe.
2 out of the wild
a lot of
card.
teams.
2 out of the wild card. And we think the Braves could fade.
The only thing the Diamondbacks have better hitting than the Pirates do.
That's what I'm saying. They had,
They
They had Christian Walker, you had Corbin Carroll,
Their hitting's
you
awful.
had Ketel Marte.
Yeah.
The Pirates can't hit worth shit.
Not for
And possibly the most underrated thing about the Diamondbacks last year, they played defense. They were one of the best defensive baseball teams in recent history. They made no errors. They just were. They were complete.
Yeah.
Padres.
Yes.
You think they can?
Yeah. Dylan Cease. Here's what it hinges on. You Darvish. So you guys know this story. You Darvish is not with the team, and no one knows why.
Yeah, I did see that.
About a week and a half ago, the manager says he needs to go away. It's something personal reasons. No one really is saying why. No one knows why.
Don't even know.
They didn't know if he's coming back this year. He's been probably there, even with Cease, he might be their best starting pitcher this year. If Yu Darvish does not come back, they cannot win. If Yu Darvish comes back, they can. The fact they went out and got Tanner Scott makes me think maybe he is coming back, because you wouldn't have mortgaged those prospects
Right.
unless.
He better come back.
If to me, it all hinges on Darvish.
Yeah.
That offense, by the way, is hitting like crazy right now.
So my thing is this, Bosco. My thing is I truly think that the 4 teams are going to win the World Series.
I agree. I think we're due for just
My-
a
It's
chalk
a
year.
chalk year. It's a chalk year.
So my thing is to do this, the exact result in the DraftKings. So I'll give you the top 5.
Okay.
Dodgers beat the Yankees is plus 1,300. That's the lowest odds there are.
1,300?
Yeah. Dodgers beat the Orioles 1,600. Yankees beat the Dodgers 1,600. Dodgers beat the Guardians is 1,700. And then the Yankees beat the Phillies is 20-1. Phillies 22-1 beating the Yankees, and then the Orioles beating the Dodgers 22-1.
It's almost like you play 2 combos, 3 combos.
Play
You're getting
a
paid out.
couple
of
combos.
What's the Orioles to
Paid
beat the
out.
Phillies?
Orioles to beat
83 World Series.
Orioles beat the Dodgers. Is
No, Orioles beat the
2-1.
Phillies.
Oh, I know. I'm going through it. They're a little more.
'Cause that would be my
28-1.
if you put a gun to my head, that would be the pick I'd make.
That's 28-1.
I don't know. Mush and I were talking after the game 1 of the series, and I feel even more strongly about it after watching last night's game.
And
There's
that's,
something destiny-ish
and
about
that's 20 and
Phillies
22-1.
Yankees.
That's a great bet. If you just bet both sides of that, Phillies to beat the Yankees or the Yankees to beat the Phillies,
Yeah.
22 and 20-1 is
It's not bad.
a good bet. I truly don't think you guys are saying all these other teams obviously there's a chance, obviously, but there's these 4 teams are pretty fucking dominant.
Walk me through the Yankees rotation in the playoffs.
On Cole,
All right, it's a question mark right now.
so
He hasn't pitched well this season.
saying Cole is Cole.
Yes.
It's good.
He would start game 1.
Cole,
Gil.
Gil.
Okay.
And then it's probably depends on Clark Schmidt. I don't
hurt.
think it's going to be Nestor.
Who's been terrible.
And then
Stroman or Rodon. I mean,
Stroman or Rodon.
Be Stroman.
It's going to be Rodon.
I think it's
Rodon.
Rodon's been good, right?
Stroman's been slow. Rodon's
he's been a little bit better, just very recently.
that's why I'm higher on the
It's
Orioles.
not a lot to.
I don't think it's as like Cole, we're talking about like the best pitcher ever. Cole's gonna bounce back.
Corbin Burns,
But the bullpen,
Grayson Rodriguez, Zach
the
Eflin.
bullpens are different as well, Clemmer.
Yes, they are. But the Yankees bullpen isn't the Guardians bullpen. Clay Holmes, I mean, that you can't trust him with anything right now.
That's a fact.
No, you can't.
Now Leiter really impressed me yesterday. That was a hell of a performance.
Frost comes back healthy and good.
I mean, I wouldn't want to face Burns, Grayson, Eflin in the playoffs. That's scary. With that lineup, that's scary.
It's not as scary.
And I think the Phillies are scary on the other side with what
Like,
they have.
We're talking Gerrit Cole and Luis Gil is also like Gil's been great this year.
And then he had 1 3-game stretch. He was bad.
Gil's been awesome.
Outside of that, he's been lights
I
out.
worry a little bit about the innings count, but that also just might be like new age baseball bullshit.
Yeah.
Honestly, like he's been so
Yeah,
good.
but he when he faced the Phillies 2 nights ago, he didn't throw a pitch under 90 miles an hour. He's electric. That slider bites and it has pop, and I was very, very impressed by him. But if he's going 100% like he has been all season, I mean, there is a point to the innings.
You know what? I'm sorry. This is just Aaron Judge in the last 80 games is batting .370, 35 home runs, 86 RBIs, OBP of .497, and slugging of .819.
What does he to win the MVP?
Probably the minus.
Gotta be
like
minus. It's
1,000.
ridiculous.
Also,
right? Was he?
He leads the MLB in basically like every major.
Did anybody
hitting
get
category.
him
He's
after?
first
Did
place.
anybody get him in after April?
people are probably going to be very wealthy if they got him in April because he was awful in April.
Yeah.
That's how impressive the season is. Also, the Yankees are minus 165 to win the division.
Wow.
That's a pretty high number.
That's interesting.
I thought I was
that's
gonna.
very-
I thought I was gonna come here and say like
Ready to throw some money on the Orioles.
the Orioles. Yeah, I thought that.
The
was
Orioles like plus 130.
Yeah.
Orioles
That
have a
should-
half
that,
game
that
lead.
realistically should be probably a pick 'em right now.
They have a half game lead.
Yeah.
By the way, Gerrit Cole, and I know, like you're right, Marty. At any point in time, can he click and become Gerrit Cole? Because that, he's got a great resume, obviously.
Snell was awful. Remember that.
Awful. Snell also, you're right. It's very fair. It's very and Snell clicked in, right? And Cole could do the same thing. I'm not, but until I see it, I kind of don't believe it because he has got a 5.40 ERA now in 7 starts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about him having diarrhea. I don't care about that. But him. I need to see a string of
That's
4 good starts from him.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I also don't think we could poo-poo him when we're talking about the best pitcher in baseball.
Last year.
Yeah, we didn't because he didn't play this year. I'm saying like
Right.
he's started 5 times, but
7. We're on 7 now.
yeah.
Like at some point it adds up.
I'm just saying, like when you talk about a rotation, you can't be like Gerrit Cole. Like he's still Gerrit Cole.
I don't like that he's given up 39 hits in 35 innings. Like a lot of the numbers here don't spell well. I just I don't like what I've seen. And
Again, yeah, you got a month and a half to.
yeah, he got 2 months. He got 2 months to figure it out. Right. And you're right. Man, he could have in August. If you told me he's going to have a 150 ERA in August, I'd be like, all right, no, he's got a cold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I haven't seen it yet. And until he does, I have a hard time saying the Yankees are truly like high level World Series.
Again, the
Like
Orioles
probables.
have not been playing well either.
They haven't.
So that's where it's like
No, the Orioles should have wrapped up this division the way the Yankees played.
they should have been up 4
7
or
or
5
8 games, yeah.
At least 4 to 5. Like
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
the Orioles have
I like-
played like dog shit the last 6
I
weeks.
like that there's these good 4 really good teams and then those outliers that aren't that far behind. But
Did you put the D-backs in, yes or no?
no, I
Just to finalize the list. I agree with
I'm high on the D-backs.
Yeah, but I don't think you catch lightning in a bottle. Gallen hasn't pitched like he has been. Last year he was
Gallen was hurt.
worldly.
Gallen was hurt.
Okay. Does Merrill Kelly pitch like the way he did last year?
Probably not, but they're getting Eduardo Rodriguez back. He hasn't pitched all year.
But you haven't seen you can't say.
But he's not the ace. He's not the ace, though. He's a piece that the Diamondbacks are already kind of in the mix. And then if you add in pieces on top of that we haven't seen all year, I think it makes it. Now, here's the thing with Diamondbacks. It all rests on Corbin Carroll. He's been awful this year, but he has been hitting a little bit better. Like, you look at what I watched the Diamondbacks game yesterday, what they did. I know it's Patrick Corbin, but my God, they were just tattooing.
Corbin's
the ball.
horrible.
Like, he's so bad, but like Christian Walker,
Yankees never did was that. Patrick
Corbin was
we were-
horrible.
Corbin
we
was-
were about to get him. We were about to be hyped, and he's horrible.
He's atrocious. He gave up like
Hey,
10.
he got him a World Series.
He did. He did.
Let's
Nah,
the
he's still
signing wasn't a
trash.
complete bust.
No, it's not. I have a hard time saying it's one of the worst signings ever because he did get them a World Series. So you have to.
Yeah.
It has to mean. But the Diamondbacks offense, when they get going, like
Yeah.
losing Christian Walker though for a while, that hurts. I know they made the trade yesterday for what's his face in the Marlins.
Josh Bell.
Thank you. But he's obviously not Christian Walker. So I'm not ruling the Diamondbacks out personally at all.
All right.
Josh Bell gets traded every year.
So that leaves Orioles 5 in the AL, one of them a distant, but Orioles, Yanks, Minnesota, Seattle, Houston, Philly, Atlanta, Dodgers, Padres. And I think that means we have Minnesota like deep on that list. The Padres kind of deep on that list to a degree. Like they
The Rangers. I would not rule the Padres out.
No, I think it's I
wouldn't.
of the teams left. I think
Pirates.
your final four is going to be Orioles, Yankees, Philly, Dodgers. I just think that's what we're destined for.
We said that
Been a
last
long.
year.
I know, but it's been a long time since we had one come through. I think we're due to have one come through.
I know, but you never know if the Dodgers they might get might get a bye again and then just completely just shit the
Yeah.
bed
Oh.
against the Brewers and just get swept for no reason whatsoever. Or the Diamondbacks. Who did they get swept by last year?
It's the first time
One
I've
of
seen
those.
Ohtani get upset.
Oh, Yamamoto is that the Dodgers rotation though is so good now with Flaherty though. If they get Yamamoto back, I think they got Gavin Stone's been so good
You
for
know who's
them.
pitching tonight for them?
Who? Oh, Kershaw.
Like Kershaw.
Yeah, so Kershaw
Warming up
came-
for the playoffs, baby.
Kershaw had his one start. He didn't pitch great. I think he had 6 Ks in 4 innings, right? That first start, and he's pitching again today. There's not a hole in that rotation. Once they get Yamamoto back, it's kind of scary. And then once they get
But
Mookie
you
Betts
say-
back,
You say that, but every single year, Clayton Kershaw
Yeah, they
goes
throw-
in the playoffs
they
and gets
throw-
shelled.
that's just not true. It's not every single
No,
year. It's
he's
just
been
not
better.
true.
He's been
It's just
better
it's just
lately.
not true. And one of the years the team he's facing was cheating. I mean, it's just like it's just he's not as good in the playoffs as he is in the regular season, but it's not this black and white thing. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like you look at it. This he's had many good playoff starts. He's had many bad playoff starts, but he's not.
fair.
But he's not been this like complete like disaster.
When you have somebody who is, quote, generationally as great as Clayton Kershaw,
Yes.
he should be more of a dominant pitcher in the playoffs.
No
You
argument
agree?
here. No argument.
Okay.
You're exactly right.
Yeah. Hard Knocks last night. Anybody watch the final episode?
I haven't. I just saw that
Oh,
I
something.
didn't get a chance to.
I did not.
I
I
watched
saw something that got leaked of like our player personnel. Something not leaked, but like what we thought about each prospect coming out of the draft. Like we color coded it or something, and people are talking about that online today.
Yeah, I mean it was the draft episode. You see how the draft unfolds, and it wasn't as like suspenseful because you knew they were in on neighbors. And the way the rest of the draft went, once Chargers go to Alt, the only question is the Chargers. They zoomed in on that.
That's
yeah,
interesting.
So they were talking about like.
So blue is who they like.
No, look at Dukes. There's another tweet of someone explaining what each color is.
Well, red is who they got.
Blue is a leader.
Blue is a leader, and then there's
So Drake May is blue.
one that they like didn't like their attitude.
What does leader mean? Like the best player at that position?
Leader and like. I don't know.
I guess
That's actually a good point because also this is
What is
they also
red?
this is
didn't
how
know-
it played out.
I think they also didn't think they were like and knew they weren't going to get Williams and Daniels.
So I don't know if this is their big board, or if it's like where the players fell and how they like. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know they wanted Bowers, Adunze, or Neighbors.
That's what I was gonna say. They had back because when they did the little thing with Tish,
Yeah.
they talked about like if it goes this way, if it really fell to shit, they would have just taken Bowers. Or if they traded back, they would have taken Bowers.
Have you seen that
Red
they-
is like injury concern. Yellow, I don't know.
Yellow is you could throw 100 yards and it was or something like
What does
that.
pink mean?
I'm gonna say.
But I don't know.
That's-
I think pink might be.
I don't know
let me
what
see.
red was though.
Red. I was gonna say it's who they got, but
not.
that's not.
No, redwood injuries would make sense because I know like Paul, the tackle, is coming off an injury,
Oh,
Medical
undersized
concerns,
measurement concern,
character
all around good
concerns,
leader teammate. So yeah, blue.
Oh, purple's interesting.
character concerns.
It was purple.
Yeah.
That's what I knew. There's purple.
How many
Can you go,
guys?
can
they
you go
got
back
in
to that
purple?
list? Well, yeah. Who's purple?
Simpson.
Well,
they
maybe
don't-
that just means pink.
Purple,
Yeah.
like I know.
Oh no,
I know-
because pink
Purple's
was.
Baker. You see
Purple,
Baker,
Baker.
purple.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
Yeah,
only,
like
there's
Javon
only a
Baker.
couple of them.
Have to be just him.
Well,
But like that also just makes that makes perfect sense.
he was the one that'll make guys that with wheelchairs stand up. He's a good player.
He went from Bama to UCF.
He went lower than his talent because of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back it up. What was that?
what?
The wheelchair?
What did he do with the wheelchair?
No, he had the quote.
Yeah.
Like he
Was
was like,
it?
I'm
I
so
don't know.
excited. Like I make guys in wheelchairs. stand.
He said,
Like when they
Oh,
watch.
that's a guy I want.
Because if you watch his tape, he's
a
like he's
fucking miracle.
He's a
That's
highlight
what
reel receiver.
Yeah,
Like, he makes big time plays.
I drafted him 1-1.
And he's a guy who I think went further than his talent would have indicated because of, I guess, some.
Well, we don't know there's other stuff. It might have not been just the wheelchair. It might have been other things.
No, that was just a funny quote.
That's a funny quote.
That's
It
an
went,
unbelievable.
it went
makes
viral.
sense.
It went viral on Twitter. All that.
Dable worked at Bama. He went to Bama, then transferred to UCF. I'm pretty sure because of character concerns. So like obviously that's not
And
breaking news
Dable
right
and
there.
Saban are like Dable coach with Saban.
Right,
Like
it's
they
not
know each
breaking
other very
news.
well.
Since last January, Georgia has 24 driving incidents where their players have gotten arrested.
I saw the funny.
We talked about necessary roughness this week.
24.
They got to sign NIL deals with Uber.
Yeah.
Gotta
I
get
mean,
them.
they had a serious incident that led to 2 deaths
Yeah.
in their program.
This is the
They
blind
had
snapper
someone on
at
their
USC.
staff.
I could have driven
That's the blind snapper at USC.
He's blind.
That's funny.
I remember that. They used to do the shit on him all the time, J. Cole.
They used to do they did like a whole 30 for 30 on him.
Yeah, big like thing. He was through some accident. He lost his eyesight, I believe.
Fucking crazy. He's a snapper with blind.
He long snapped in a real game. I'm pretty
Good
sure.
for him.
Oh yeah.
What did you have? What else?
I
did you
wasn't
have?
impressed.
There was this one more.
I think it was cool, but like I was like that's like the one position that I think a blind guy
That's
can do.
insane.
You weren't impressed?
No, it was
That's
I
insane.
never was impressed by that.
You'd have purple on your.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Like blind people can when they do. Imagine like close your eyes and walk around. It's hard.
See, I think that like long snapping is the one thing a blind person
Bro,
can do.
how about getting out to the.
Yeah, knowing where to stand on the field.
That's the hardest part.
They line him up.
No,
They did line him up.
Yes,
All right.
I agree with you. Like
You guys
it's,
are crazy.
I'm not diminishing that. It's like a cool story.
Don't shoot
What are we? Why are we?
It's just what happened.
You'd be
It's a
so
cool
bad.
story. It's a cool
If
story.
you had you open-eyed would be horrible. At fucking,
I know. No, I don't disagree with you. It's like it's all like a very cool, emotionally cool story. But like I remember being like, yeah, that makes sense in a blind guy.
You ever
can snap.
see Braille? They can
it's
read.
just
They
like-
didn't know how to read that. It's like so hard to do.
It's
It
just
should be
like
a butt.
it's just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's not like you have to like read a defense. You just fucking snap it back.
I piss every day. Sometimes I
run
piss
down
on
the
myself.
field.
I do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like what are we doing here? Like doing the same thing every day is still hard.
I am not that impressed.
I am very impressed.
That is insane.
That's-
I make Dukes wear both my eye patches.
Also, you're a long snapper, and you.
rest of the day.
So what happens when you snap it? Think about it.
It's just
No. What happens
repetition.
after you snap though?
I agree with that.
Now you're on a field with
he
your eyes
snapped
closed.
it one time.
Yeah, is somebody allowed to fucking light him up when he's running down the
like
field?
that,
I wanna
that's
s-
hard.
The other thing I'll back Dukes here. I mean, there's literally a penalty. You can't touch the long snapper on the extra point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch him. It's a penalty.
It's not like he
It's
was
still
doing it.
scary.
Listen, I don't think
Guys,
it's. No, I haven't said a word that it's
It is
unimpressive.
happening.
I'm just stating facts here. That's all I've done.
My last
I haven't said
thing-
it's.
we gotta
Duke
move
said it was
on.
unimpressive.
This is
like a
If he
cancer.
made a fucking,
I stated 2 facts.
You did.
It did help him line up,
that-
and you are not allowed to touch him.
if he made a
It's just
tackle, I'd
fact.
be impressed.
It's just a fact.
So
If
Stevie
he made a
Wonder
ta-
plays the piano all the time. It's crazy.
Does it every day.
I'm not sure he's blind.
There's a lot of rumors about
That's
Stevie
okay.
Wonder.
That's okay. Because the Shaq and Cielo.
How's it going, big fella?
How's it going, big fella? It's fucking crazy. My last thing was I just want to get Smitty's reaction just to get him a little excited about it. But did you see George Niang talk about Ben Simmons?
No.
Yeah, it was, it's in the queue for the blog.
It was awesome.
Very realistic.
What did he say?
It was
I did not.
kind of
Yeah, what did he
cool
say?
to hear a different perspective of him talking
Yes.
about him coming from Utah, being like, I'm a guy, like, this is my time. I'm a spot-up shooter. Ben Simmons is a guy who drives and kicks the ball, great passer, good for him. And then he gets there, and then Ben Simmons is like, all right, well, I'm not playing. And he goes, what the fuck, dude? And, like, him explaining of a different perspective was kind of cool and interesting to hear. And he basically was like, fuck you, dude, to Ben Simmons.
Yeah, and Yang specifically said, like, yeah, I came to Philadelphia to try to get more money because Ben Simmons is going to make me look better. And now Ben Simmons is not only out, like you have a young Tyrese Maxey or Shake Milton who has to come in and be the point guard. And Niang's just like, well, how am I going to fucking excel here if I can't just be a spot-up shooter the way I came? And what really pissed them off was when Ben Simmons came back and was in the locker room and just kind of was dismissive towards everyone. Like people would come up to him and Ben Simmons would just be like, sup. And that's when Yang was like,
It's
fuck
also
this guy.
When
this
Maxey,
piece of shit.
you didn't know if Maxey was going to be this.
Was going to be good, yeah.
That's where it was like, there was between Shake Milton and him. You
Right.
know? So
I know we know a lot of show up. Like, what is Ben Simmons' like problem? Like, what's the root problem? Like, why is he like this?
He's a dickhead.
Circle. Growing up, being told kiss his ass.
If
and
you
he
watch the
was never
documentary-
told he
That's
needed
I've said it for years.
Oh.
The documentary of him in high school going
Yeah.
into college, you realize, oh my God,
Watch
this
it.
guy is such an asshole. Like, what a dickhead this guy is.
But-
He does not give a fuck about anyone but himself. He thinks he thought he was God's gift to earth. I'm the best. I'm great. He went to LSU. Team didn't even make the tournament.
But
He's a fucking bum. He's a
No.
bum.
Like, aren't a lot of guys coddled? Like,
that's
like
where
like
you're wrong on
like
that.
a lot of these young
He was really
basketball
good at
players. Like,
Not like
No, he was great at LSU, but he's not a winner. He was great. He was phenomenal talent. He's not a winner. If you're that elite of a talent and you can't get your team to the tournament,
Anthony at Georgia sucked too.
but the talent around him was way worse at Georgia.
I don't
LSU, they
know.
weren't as dog shit. Georgia, it was literally Anthony Edwards, and everyone else was like.
But the
trash.
thing about this is
LSU's
where I
team
don't
wasn't that
fault- I don't
trash.
fault the Sixers. He was really good. Like he was
Talented.
a very good basketball player.
Dude, he's going to average a triple-double this year for the Nets if he's healthy. Watch.
Yeah, he's just a good
Wait,
basketball
because it
player.
doesn't
He's
matter.
just- obviously,
Yeah.
you don't know. Sometimes you can't evaluate the person's brain.
Right.
To Ev's point, that's what you look at in a guy. It's like, I'm getting mine. That's all that matters.
don't really
He's just
know
not a
that,
winner.
though. Like you just don't know that out of a guy coming out of college. You don't.
but he's like
Has there-
he's an historically bad
Has
teammate.
there ever been a generational
You can know it now, though.
player?
now you can for
But-
sure.
Has there ever been a generational player who was obviously the number one overall pick, where we're talking Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Bryce Harper, Sidney Crosby? Ben Simmons was that guy. Has there ever been somebody like that to just completely fucking turn out like this?
But it's crazy because as much as I agree with you, Smitty, there'll still be guys that be like, he won Rookie of the Year. He was a 4-time All-Star. He was all defensive team this year. And
Yeah.
so they'll look back and be
Yeah.
like guys that like played in the league will be like, you can't say this guy's a boss. And on some level, I understand where they're coming from. But when you see the talent he had, and even the jump shooting part of it, I don't know. It was, I'm sure, obviously, it had to be mental in some capacity. But he had every other part of his game was so strong. How does he not just lock himself in the gym in the offseason and just shoot jump shots?
Let me ask you
The
a
only
question.
thing missing from his game, everything else was elite defense, passing, rebounding, everything. The way he can facilitate an offense, everything.
He
elite.
was good on the Sixers. Like,
was
don't
great.
Forget that.
He was
Right.
great on the
He was
Sixers.
very good.
But think about this. Do you think if he got drafted by a different team, a city that's not like if the Cavaliers,
It was like
maybe,
Atlanta.
or like someone that's where it's not like so in your
Utah.
face,
No.
Utah, would he be better?
Probably.
No,
I mean,
I don't.
I think
know.
Because he was an asshole when he went to the Nets, and no one cares about the Nets.
I mean,
here.
Embiid had to sit out for 2 years.
That was after everything.
They
though.
like Sixers have had plenty of successful stars come through this and play very well for the Sixers. Embiid had set out 2 years. You think people were coming to his neck?
No,
I'm saying,
I
like,
know,
I'm
but
saying-
he's mentally
I-
strong. I'm
no,
saying
no.
like a guy who, if you went to the Jazz, where literally no one cares about what's really happening with the Jazz, he maybe could have like. This is not help, and he's an asshole. I'm just saying like, do you think he could have turned out better?
Based on what you guys saying though, this has been like a problem going back to when he was a school kid. Like I think
Again, he was good on the Sixers for 2 years. You know, like he was good.
But he
Then
wasn't
something
great in the
happened.
playoffs. I just don't think he's mentally built to compete like when the chips are all in.
No,
I don't think he's
so.
he's not that guy.
But he will put up MVP numbers
Yes.
for
And that's because
team.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, it makes sense.
He'll average 18, 10, and 10.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter.
That'd be awesome.
last year, the way
Wonders.
averaged 6.1 points a game and 7.9 rebounds.
I
Jesus.
think he played a lot.
I would say how many games he did.
15 games.
I'm shocked it was even that much.
Yeah.
He's played 57 games the last 3 years total.
And how much money has he made?
Oh yeah.
I mean, last year he was like, from all out accounts, he just like basically didn't want to play.
Right.
Over $100 million.
He was healthy.
Awesome. Honestly, he's winning.
Yeah, maybe we're the idiots, right?
We're the
Yeah. He made $105 million, by the way, those 3 years total.
Yep. And he played.
He played 57 games.
Yeah. That's
That's $2 million a game. That's pretty good.
million a
we
game.
played more intramural games.
$2 million a game.
Did you guys see Zlatan's gonna be on the Yak?
No, who's
Do you know who
that?
Zlatan is?
He's
No.
a guy. He's got
Soccer
65
player.
million
So insane.
Instagram followers. He's
I-
like the
I don't
best
know what it-
soccer player.
oh, is it-
Zlatan Ibrahimovic?
I don't know soccer.
He
at
also
all,
is like
I'm sorry.
viral as shit. He's like, they want Zlatan. I give them Zlatan.
Okay.
Like he's probably
He was incredible soccer.
top 3 of this generation
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, it's like
It's crazy.
It's old now.
It's crazy though, like how much bigger soccer is than any other.
Yeah.
sport.
Oh, I know.
You look at like Instagram. I know that's
Crazy.
not a fame, but like look at Patrick Mahomes. He's probably got like, if I had to guess, he's probably like 5 million followers. This guy's got 65
Well,
million.
remember we had Manners from the cricket. Cricket is huge. Like cricket is gigantic too. And like I couldn't name a single. I don't know anything.
Because that's the only sport they have.
Oh, that's the true with soccer in a lot of cases too, right?
That's what I'm saying. Soccer.
Yeah.
Too. Like if you think about, they don't have American football.
Right.
They can't.
Right.
It's 7 hours ahead of all of them.
Right.
So it's like they
Yeah,
don't
of course.
watch it. Like that's the only sport they have, and it's kind of cool though.
Let's go pick. Smitty's on the Giants -1.5. He just dropped out. I'm on the Mets. I think the Mets are hot. I'm going to ride a hot hand. I'm kind
Yankees
of weird why they're a
Dropped
dog.
out because
Like
the
a
Yankees are already winning. And
The Yankees are up 3-0.
Yankees are already winning.
They're winning 3-0. LeMahieu actually doubled the bases loaded.
What do you got, Marty?
Stand in the lineup.
I had the Yankees. I mean, you don't have to count it. But,
All right.
I have I guess the Cubs. I'm taking them again. I'm taking the Mets as well. I'm taking the Braves.
Zlatan doesn't do auditions.
Taking the Braves -120, and then I'm going to take the who would I have? Oh, I'm taking the Dodgers plus money.
If
Yeah, I'm on the Braves money line as well. And I'm also on the Red Sox money line.
Clemmer.
My pick of the day is Diamondbacks. Up by half a run, first 5 innings. It's -120. You have Zach Gallen pitching at home against the Nationals.
Oh, it's Gallon Day?
It's Gallen Day. Mackenzie Gore is starting for the Nationals. He's a good pitcher, but he's been getting rocked lately. So I like the Diamondbacks there.
It's a grand slam.
Wow.
Uh,
They must have overruled. Yeah,
Oh, the Yankees?
yeah. It was a LeMahieu grand slam.
LeMahieu grand slam, Jesus.
100 feet.
And well, here's the proof that I don't how either I don't cheat. I have the Phillies money line -118. I said it, and I have the Mariners money line as well.
The Yankees have I'm telling you, a little fun to your team helps everybody.
Chisholm, another hit.
He's
1
fun
1
for
today.
now. He rubs teammates the wrong way. I mean, there's teammates that hate him.
I'll take Gallon strikeouts.
Miguel Rojas hates him.
I also think when you play for the Marlins, where no one gives a fuck, it's day after day, dreary.
They were a playoff team last year. I know they don't play in there's 49 other states.
I understand, but it's. Oh, you're gonna tell me you don't think it's way more fun to play for the Yankees than the Marlins?
I'll say it's more fun, but I'll say this. When he goes into a slump and people start booing him, we'll see how he reacts. It also can be a lot less fun playing in New York.
Well, yeah, no, 100%. We'll see if he goes into that big slump.
only God knows. This is a great quote. Sorry, I was just looking at all these. Only God knows who will go through. It's hard to ask him. You're talking to him. That's his lines.
Right, I like this guy.
Wild.
Also, I have a win total.
Ooh.
Celtics
wait,
over
we're
50.5
doing it
50 and a half
tomorrow.
wins. Is today Wednesday?
We're going to do tomorrow. We're going to
Do it tomorrow. We had a lot on the deadline.
It's a good one, though.
Who do you like?
Celtics over 58.5 wins.
Okay.
58 and a half.
I'm going to play an under
Yeah.
tomorrow. I played 2 overs. I'm going to play an under.
I have it
tomorrow.
under tomorrow as well.
Ooh.
So, all right. That is Pick Central. Yaks rocking now. We'll catch you tomorrow.